Pirithous' doom. The fool who challenged Hades, what is the most arrogant thing a mortal could possibly do? Attack a god. Steal from a god. Two legendary heroes decided to go further. They plotted to kidnap a goddess from her own kingdom, a realm from which no mortal returns. This is the story of a man who thought he could steal a wife from the king of the dead. Our story begins with Pirithous, king of the Lapiths, and his best friend, the great Athenian hero Theseus. They had already accomplished impossible feats together, but Pirithous, in his bottomless ambition, proposed the ultimate quest. They would each marry a daughter of Zeus. Theseus chose Helen of Sparta, daring enough choice, as she was just a child. They kidnapped her, but that's a story for another time. Pirithous, however, looked at his friend and decided to go one better. He wouldn't just kidnap a mortal princess. He would steal Persephone, the queen of the underworld herself, from her husband Hades. Descending into the bleak, gray world of the dead, they found the palace of Hades, the god himself. A majestic and terrifying figure seated on an ebony throne with his queen Persephone beside him listened to their outrageous demand. And he smiled. It was a cold, dead smile. He invited them to sit and feast with him as honored guests. Relieved, the two heroes took their seats on two ornate stone chairs. But the moment they sat down, the stones seemed to come alive. Coils of rock, like serpents, shot up and wrapped around their arms, legs, and chests. They were trapped. This was the chair of forgetfulness, and it didn't just hold them. It began to erase their very minds and sap their strength. There they remained, for years, as forgotten as the dead around them. Their great quest was a pathetic joke. They were permanent prisoners in Hades' hall, a living trophy of the price of hubris. Years later, the hero Heracles came to the underworld on one of his labors. He pleaded with Hades for the release of his friend, Theseus. Hades, with a flicker of amusement, agreed. Heracles wrenched Theseus from the stone, though it tore part of his flesh away. But when Heracles moved to free Pirithous, the ground shook violently. Hades' voice echoed. The one who dared to covet the queen of the dead would never leave. His punishment was eternal. Pirithous remained, forever bound to the stone, a permanent resident of the kingdom he sought to conquer. A final, grim lesson from the ancients. There are lines even heroes should not cross. Some realms are not meant to be challenged, and some gods never forgive. If you think you're brave enough for more myths from the edge of the mortal world, prove it. Like this video, and subscribe to join us on our next descent into legend.